or the poetry of sweet science. It has always been about inevitability. It's the kind that creeps into an arena the moment he steps through the ropes, heavy boots thudding against the canvas, shoulders rolling forward, eyes locked with a stare that seems to promise something unpleasant is about to happen. Long before the first punch is thrown, there's a feeling in the air that this fight is already leaning in one direction. It's not because Butterbean is faster, sharper, or more refined, forcing combinations together, but because when he lands clean, physics itself seems to surrender. From the opening bell of nearly every fight in this chaotic highlight reel, the same story unfolds in slightly different ways. Commentators try to frame what they're seeing, explaining the lack of combinations, the loading up, the patience that borders on eerie. Butterbean doesn't waste movement. He doesn't feint or probe. He waits. And when the opening appears, even for a fraction of a second, he swings as if he's trying to punch through time itself. 3 right hands, 3 knockdowns. That's all it takes. The bell hasn't even had time to fade from memory before the referee is already stepping in. It's waving it off, signaling that yet another opponent has discovered the cost of standing still in front of a 330-plus pound man who knows exactly what he's there to do. There's a strange contradiction to Butterbean's style. On the surface, it looks crude. Broad swings, wide arcs, punches that start from somewhere near his hip and travel like freight trains. Analysts talk about what he isn't doing, the combinations we never see, the finesse that's missing. And yet, beneath all of that, there's brutal clarity. He understands his strengths better than most fighters ever will. He knows that if he connects once cleanly on the chin or the temple, it doesn't matter what came before it. The fight ends there. It becomes a home run derby, and Butterbean only needs one pitch. Time and again. The camera catches opponents trying to survive rather than compete. They circle, they jab, they hope to tire him out, to drag him into deeper waters. But it rarely gets that far. One punch is all it takes. Single right hand lands, and suddenly, legs go stiff, eyes roll back, and bodies collapse in ways that feel less like boxing knockdowns and more like power outages. Fighters don't just fall, they crumple, they stagger. They drop through the ropes, sometimes landing half outside the ring as the referee rushes in to stop further damage. There's a moment early in the montage where the commentary shifts from excitement to concern. A fighter is out on his feet, barely aware of where he is, and Butterbean is still advancing, still hunting, because the instinct doesn't shut off until the referee physically intervenes. It's not cruelty, it's momentum. Once Butterbean smells the finish, he doesn't hesitate. The crowd rises as one, sensing it too, and when the final blow lands, there's a collective release. The fight is over, and Butterbean is all ready. Walking across the ring, businesslike, as if this was simply another task checked off the list. Against George Clark, the ending is especially violent. A booming body shot softens him up, followed by a straight shot to the head that snaps Clark upright before gravity takes over. Eyes roll, balance disappears, and the final punches send him flying out of the ring entirely. The referee doesn't hesitate. That's it, no count needed. The crowd erupts, not just because of the knockout, but because of the sheer force behind it. Butterbean doesn't just win, he overwhelms. What makes these knockouts so unsettling is how little time they take. Some fighters spend entire careers trying to engineer moments like this, setting traps, wearing opponents down over rounds. Butterbean skips the preamble. Against Richie, the flurry comes suddenly. Clean punches land one after another, each thudding into its target with the sound of something heavy colliding with something fragile. Richie connects too briefly, but it doesn't matter. Butterbean's punches have a different weight to them. When the last knockdown comes, it's vicious enough that the referee waves it off immediately. First round again. The pattern repeats across opponent after opponent. A right hand to the body followed by a crushing shot upstairs. A left-right combination that lands flush, sending heads snapping back and bodies collapsing hard onto the canvas. In one fight, the opponent's head hits the mat so violently that the replay is shown from 3 different angles, each one worse than the last. From one view, it's the left side of the chin that takes the impact. From another, it's the overhand right crashing down. From the best angle of all, you see the moment consciousness leaves, lights out. There's a certain disbelief in the commentary during these moments. Even seasoned announcers struggle to find new ways to describe what they're seeing. Tremendous right hand. Tremendous power. The 333-pounder does it again. It's astonishing that a human body can generate that kind of force and deliver it with such consistency. Neither. In one of the more surreal moments, Butterbean drops an opponent with what's described as a jab, perhaps a half-hook, half-jab hybrid. The punch sends Patrick Graham through the ropes, collapsing in a way that seems almost comical until you remember how dangerous it is. From any angle, it looks painful. From every angle, it looks final. As the fights stack up, a strange respect begins to form, even among critics. They talk about opponents with higher skill levels in the future, about testing Butterbean against better competition. But the reality is that no matter who stands in front of him, the equation remains the same. If he lands, it's over. Against Bergen, the end comes after a jab sets up a looping overhand right, followed by a left hook and a digging shot to the body. By the time Bergen spits out his mouthpiece, he's already gone. He doesn't know where he is. The fight is finished before his mind catches up with his body. Kent Craven tries to fight back, even as he's being pounded in the corner. There's a bravery to it, a refusal to fold immediately, but bravery doesn't stop punches. Butterbean keeps whacking him, each blow landing with the same dull thud. When the referee steps in, some fans boo, wanting more violence, but the stoppage is justified. Craven was in trouble, and everyone knows it. Even against names like Peter McNeely, fighters who have shared the ring with legends, the outcome doesn't change. Early jabs land, a few left hooks find their mark, and for a moment, it looks competitive. Then Butterbean starts throwing those wide, looping punches from far out, and McNeely has no answer. He stops offering offense, stops defending himself, and the referee steps in. There's no controversy, no argument. It was only a matter of time. Butterbean's fights don't stretch on long enough to become tactical battles. They're bursts of violence, moments of chaos where the laws of boxing give way to something more primal. Against Ed White, the crowd roars as Butterbean presses forward. Left hooks and right hands crashing through defenses that no longer exist. White is out on his feet, barely upright, before a final combination sends him tumbling out of the ring. Round 3. Over by the time Butterbean racks up his 39th win and 30th stoppage. The numbers feel almost secondary to the visual evidence. 11 of 16 power shots land in a single round. A forearm here, a crushing right there, and suddenly another opponent is on the canvas. Joe Cortez steps in, as he's done so many times before, to stop it before it gets worse. Watching this knockout frenzy in sequence, it becomes clear why Butterbean carved out such a unique place in boxing history. He wasn't the most skilled heavyweight. He wasn't chasing championships or legacy in the traditional sense. He was the king of the four-rounders, a man who turned every fight into an event because everyone knew what might happen, or rather what probably would. There's something almost cinematic about it all. The walk across the ring, the calm before the storm, the sudden explosion of movement, the crowd rising to its feet as gravity does the rest. Butterbean didn't need long speeches or